It started out as a fun idea in 2014. Decorate your house with a lot of lights and illuminated Christmas ornaments and invite people to take a picture with Santa. Donate the proceeds to children's cancer research. People in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, well, they kind of loved it, except for the people on the West Hayden Estates Homeowners Association. And that's where the legal battle began. Joining us now is Jeremy Morris. He's appropriately named the Christmas lawyer. All right, so Jeremy, tell us how this started, the battle between your Christmas decorations and the always on the naughty list HOA.
Started this Christmas show, just kind of came out of the blue. There was no expectation that we were going to do this. I did a lot of Christmas decorating when I was a child, when I lived in Los Angeles, and just this thousands of people came to our house. So we said we need a bigger house, and a few days later we found one, and we had a whole year to prepare for sort of the second show, if you will. So you'll see kind of two different houses there in your pictures, and that kind of explains it. And just as a courtesy, I reached out to the president of the HOA after we had made an offer on the house, but before we had moved in. It's a crucial note to know that. And just said, hey, just being courteous, there's no sidewalks in this new neighborhood. I don't know how we're going to do this. I'm thinking maybe shuttle buses, not asking your permission. I've already had 2 lawyers review the CC&Rs. There's nothing in there that I need permission for, but I just wanted to be courteous and, let you know that we're going to do this and see what you might have in mind. And it sounded, okay. And we were ready to green light that and go forward. And next thing you know, she called back and said, hey, they're never going to let you do this. And I said, well, I don't really need their permission, so we are going to do it. And, kind of left it at that. But a few days later, now this is again just before I move into this new house to put on this massive, much larger Christmas display, which I should point out was only going to last for 2 hours for 5 nights, from 6 until 8, the total of 10 hours that the lights were even going to be turned on at all for the entire year. And this is up against 600 acres of rural horse ranch property. But they write back a letter that says, and I quote, "We're hesitant to bring up the fact that some of our residents are non-Christians, self-avowed atheists, and we don't even want to think of the problems that would bring up." And that began what would become about 9 years of litigation in the federal courts, all the way up to the appellate courts. Ultimately, I had to get licensed before the U.S. Supreme Court. I am an attorney. They've kind of deemed me the Christmas lawyer. And now, ever since, I've gone on to defend other Christians from HOAs and also government, city ordinances and whatnot that have persecuted Christians, particularly at Christmas time. So it's sort of become a vocation for me.
Good for you. We were seeing a little bit of the Apple TV documentary that they did on this. So I got like 30 seconds to go, but I know you were talking about going through the courts. You were originally awarded $75,000 in the lawsuit, but you actually got more than that in the end, and I'm glad you did. You took the HOA to the cleaners. Good. What'd you do with the money? You buying more holiday lights? You buying a bigger house?
Buying a lot more Christmas lights, and particularly holiday decorations with a very religious theme. You could call it trolling. Totally agree with trolling the neighbors. But the judge who overturned the case, Judge Windmill, tried to rig our jury. He tried to put on a juror who said she was prejudiced. I turned the judge in, his name is Windmill, for misconduct. And the Idaho State Bar tried to have me disbarred.
Unbelievable.
And so a couple of months ago, I sued the Idaho State Bar in their official and individual capacities under 1983 for $10 million.
Good. Get them good, and we're going to watch this. Jeremy, always good to have you. I hope you had a blessed Christmas and a wonderful New Year, and keep fighting the good fight.
It's a culture war.
Yeah, it is.
And I say it's not just a war against Christmas, it's a war against Christians and our Western culture values that we should all hold dear.
Absolutely right.